Hi, welcome to Juicing the People versus O.J. Simpson, the show that juices the trial and media circus surrounding O.J. Simpson.
American Crime Story?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, show's over, we can keep going.
Yeah, story keeps going.
Yeah, every week, we take a look at the facts compared to this latest O.J. boom, O.J. mania, as I call it. O.J. is the Beatles of the new millennium.
It's the mania of the millennium.
Yeah, mania of the millennium. It's a great alliteration. It's alliterative, so I'm into it. We talk about O.J. The FX show is over, but don't worry. There are multiple History Channel specials. There's an Esquire series that has 13 episodes, DVR, that I haven't even watched yet. There's the 30 for 30 coming out that's 10 hours long. Did you know about that?
I can't
ESPN.
believe that's coming back.
Yep. And then I think it's all going to finally be wrapped up with the Martin Sheen, O.J.'s Innocent documentary in 2017. So we have a lot to still talk about. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the show, thanks for checking us out, for sticking with it, 10 episodes in and beyond. Because, we're only 10 episodes in, but O.J. is 20 years in.
Right, there's a lot to say.
There is a lot to say, because there's no resolution. I was giving an O.J. tour on Tuesday, and the woman on the tour said she compared O.J. to 9/11, but she wasn't sure why she equated those two things. But that's in her mind how she measured them up.
And you said, how so? And she said, I haven't really thought that through.
She said, I don't know. She said she didn't know why. And that's the most honest answer I think you can give. It's I feel this way and I don't know why. It's totally honest.
They're both head scratchers.
Yeah. It's unfinished business.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Something that leaves you in limbo.
Yeah. So we keep talking about it. But let's start out. We're going to talk about the civil trial tonight. But we're going to start out with this week in OJ news. Again, it's the trial that never ends. So I've given, and I have one on Friday, but so far, today's Wednesday, I've given 4 OJ tours this week.
This is a bit, you didn't used to give this many OJ tours.
I used to give 0 OJ tours.
Yeah.
It's really exploded. And actually, the reason I even started offering the OJ tours to the public was because of the folks here at Drumebox. Isn't it weird how stuff works out?
So strange.
Yeah.
So full circle.
You're right. I'm not trying to brag, because it's really, in the grand scheme of things, is no money, but hundreds of dollars off of the OJ tour. And I feel bad because, people are dead, and I'm just, interested in this for personal reasons, but it's become kind of my signature thing.
The minute you were at school when the Bronco chase was happening and the teachers pulled all the school children inside to watch the trial, that is reason enough for you to be a part of all the people in the world that cash in on O.J. Simpson. I think as a Brentwood resident, I don't fault you for cashing in on O.J. It's part of it.
Well, that's, actually what I've started saying on the tour when we go by the school and I talk about that part. I said that was when I first realized, I think everyone realized, that all bets are off with this trial. Logic goes out the window. Children should not be watching the car chase. But, no one cares.
How old were you again?
6. I was 6 years old.
6 years? Oh, see, I was always thinking you were 9.
No. OJ, I was 9 by the time civil trial was done. OJ was literally such a big part of my childhood, and not even in an active way. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, OJ. It's equal.
Knowing you and being your friend for a while now, it totally makes sense.
And
how your interests in media.
Not by choice.
Not by choice. Totally it's I always talk about kind of people like us. We're media mutants. Mm-hmm. It's really not our fault that we stepped in the ooze.
Again, the ooze is right.
It's the OJ ooze.
I don't want this. I would love to be, from Nebraska, playing softball, good old-fashioned, going to the drive-in kind of Americana life. That's not the hand I was dealt. I had no choice but to be interested in this. I'm not even interested in this so much as I have an obligation to this. Just if somebody talks trash about your hometown, and you got to be like, hey, like, I don't know. So that's where we are.
I feel the same way, though, thinking about just like the choices that I've made in life. I mean, I was like 19, so I was like a teenager that was, about to head into being an adult, and for that to be
You're like, nope,
introduced.
This is it. This is what I identify with.
Yeah. I'm forever going to have like a really skewed view of the powers of the media.
Powers of our society.
And so, yeah. But I don't know, as a 19-year-old like girl that was about to go to art school, I was very finger pointing to the media. And I think maybe because of this show, I'm still doing it.
You can't escape it.
Yeah.
The media is a reflection of the society we live in and vice versa. And so I always try to think about it's not the media's fault. Why did it respond to this? What is it about us that made us susceptible to this? There's like Forrest Gump, same time. You know what I mean? Like, I could be super into shrimp. But I'm not.
I don't think that Forrest Gump has the same allure as O.J. Simpson.
But why? Do you know why? Can you definitively say? You have theories, right? But can you answer this? Like, why? Again, this is ages 6 to 9 to me. For me, this is 30% of my life up to that point. Why?
Well, there's so many, because there's a lot of interesting characters.
That only goes so far, though. It's the lingering interest, which is what is so baffling to me, which is why we're lingering with this show.
Right.
So before we jump into the civil trial, I want to talk about the OJ tour, because that's how we started doing this.
I have a question for you. So how have the audiences or the people that want to go on the OJ tour changed since the FX show?
Well, they haven't. So Wired Magazine contacted me last week. They were potentially going to do a story, and they're like, has the audience changed? Has interest renewed because of the FX show? And I told them plainly, no, they did a series about this because there's still interest. Mm-hmm. It's, they don't just like make TV shows on a whim.
But but I think that people are reintroduced or reinterested in it because of the show.
They're not reinterested. This is just
the show's a commercial for your tour.
It's satisfying an already existing interest.
Yes.
But yeah, so I've done 4 OJ tours this week. But so something I noticed on the tour last night, most of the tours, in fact, all of the private tours I've done, and even on the regular tours, I would say maybe about 70%, women are taking these tours. Why do you think that is, as a woman?
Well, I think that now with perspective, women look at the case differently, a lot differently. Because as I've said many times, like my mother was so obsessed with the show, and now when I talk to her about it, I'm asking her, like, how come you never told me these things about Marcia Clark, and how come none of the women in our family were talking about the way she was treated? So I think in that respect.
Women are also more interested in true crime?
Oh, true crime I don't think it's just women. I think it's hot right now. True crime is popular. It's a big, with like Making a Murderer and what's the one that
True crime is always hot, though.
I've always liked it.
I think it's fine. And also, but I think the main thing is...
Why do you think more women are going then?
I think women are more likely to go on a tour than men.
It's true.
Because some dude doesn't want to like hear another guy to like tell him some stuff.
When I went on the tour, it was with Ronnie. It was like my idea.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I was like, I bought us tickets.
Oh, well, okay, cool. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
whatever you want, baby.
Yeah.
Like
Sunday night, sure, why not?
Yeah, exactly. So hey, and I'm not knocking it. I'm.
Women also like evidence.
They do.
Mm-hmm. Look at Marcia.
Yeah. And then, I think having a stud like me.
Oh, right.
leading
Yeah,
the
you're
tour,
definitely, a draw.
Yeah, doesn't hurt.
Do you also think the New York Times quote is what sort of made the tour at least more on the radar?
Nobody talks about the New York Times thing. Oh. Nobody even knows about it.
So how do you think
Which, by the way, to get, of all the things I've done in my career and my work, to finally get to New York Times for something is an accomplishment. And then still, nobody even knows about it. I have 2 copies of the actual physical New York Times newspaper on my desk right now. Nobody even talks about it. Heard about it on Instagram, which is fine. But
heard about it on Instagram, not on the actual New York Times.
No.
Image of it.
No. By the way, on the tour on Sunday, there was a young lady on the show, and she's a young lady on the tour. She said she liked juicing, and she wanted me to tell you that she thought you were very cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So it's
I don't hear that every day.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting on the the YouTube comments and stuff, of which there are very few. You kind of get hated on a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, that's to be expected.
But on the personal feedback I get on the show, everyone says they love JJ. She's really cool.
But not the people, not the trolls don't like me.
No.
But the people in person, they think I'm cool.
But actually, and we're looking on, we have chat right now. Yeah, we do see you. So thank you very much. Check out the OJ tour if you're ever in Brentwood.
But I have one question for you.
Yeah.
A while ago, you said that you didn't know about doing the OJ tour too much because you didn't want your life to get pulled too much in that direction.
Yeah, I'm starting to hate it. I mean, I'll do it. It's easy. So I don't like divulging much about my personal life and my work, but we're all friends here. I appreciate you listening. So I got a job recently as an actual tour guide for like a tour company. So the tour company I work for costs $100 an hour to take the tour, of which I get $17. And that's not fair. That's not a fair amount for like the amount of work I do. But the OJ tour is it's a performance. It's like I feel like I can express myself more with it. I give more of myself in it. I like it more. So having the job I don't like is actually fueling me doing the OJ tour. If I was like on a TV show or something, if my life was going really great, the OJ tour would be over. Forget about it.
Right.
But that's like, it's an avenue I can find artistic satisfaction. Unfortunately.
Being aware of your work as an artist, I feel the OJ tour is part of it. I don't think that you're like just somebody that's cashing in on double murder.
Oh, no, of course not. I'm playing the long game. On the other hand, I never intended to give 5 OJ tours a week. Imagine that third tour where you're turning left on San Vicente and you're delivering, like you've got it down so much, you're delivering the same anecdote right at that left turn for the third time.
Ooh, that's part
within
of
2.5
it.
hours.
I think that's part of it. Imagine like those people that give those like Hollywood tours or.
Which I do now.
Yeah. Ooh, I want to go on all your tours.
Well, you gotta get $800.
I know, I guess
you can see the 3rd Street Promenade.
But at least you're working on your...
I am going to report them to the Franchise Tax Board, though, for their wage practices. OJ Tour, on the other hand...
I think you do the OJ tours a little too cheaply, personally. I've told you this. I want to... They're cheap, but
give the best to the most for the least.
I do, I know. See, that's what makes you good person.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And speaking of good things...
I wanted to give you a raise, but you were like, no. The people don't deserve that.
The people. Hey, the people got defrauded by the defense.
They don't need to be spending all their hard-earned money on the OJ tour.
Got to give them a good tour. But speaking of the people, farmbox.com orange juice. Here we go. This is a great orange juice. We drink it every week.
We do.
Is it my week to get the orange juice? I think it is.
It is your week.
I can't wait to take this home and drink it. I hope you enjoyed it last week. I'll pour you a glass here. But yeah, fresh orange juice delivered to your door. Farmbox.com. Check it out in your city. So,
Tehran and Nicole.
yeah, Teron and Nicole. How have things been going with you, JJ? OJ or otherwise?
Just great.
OJJ.
Oh, JJ.
Yikes. You been going great?
I'm kind of, now that the FX show's ended, I've been wondering if it's going to die down or not, the interest.
I feel like because people are catching up on the FX show, I don't know. We have, at least interest-wise, we have until the Martin Sheen OJ's Innocent show comes out, and for this show, for Juicing, till Cato comes on. He's gonna come on. Have you? May, we're gonna email him.
No, I said after April. He's busy until April 24th.
That's in 2 weeks. He's gonna. The gal who's on the OJ tour sent me a music video of her friend's pop punk band that Cato was in the music video, and they met at the House of Blues. He'll do this.
He's coming on our show.
Yeah.
It'll be his best interview yet.
I'm really gonna research it. I'm gonna.
Like, as if you have to. Every
Exactly.
question you ever wanted to ask Cato will come out.
He's just gonna smirk a little bit, but he's gonna be real, which is something so few people in this case were real. Everyone had a mask. Cato, I love Cato. We'll get to that in the finale or whenever it happens. So FX show is over. Really made my Tuesday night.
Like it was missing something, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of a truncated version of how people felt after the real trial being over after 9 months. But there's many more specials. So we both watched the History Channel special about the civil trial. Let me just say, we're not journalists on this show. We can give our opinion. I hate the civil trial. It's so boring. I hate everything about it. It's everything the criminal trial was not, in a bad way. But I don't know, maybe you learned something.
Well, really what it comes down to is that when O.J. Simpson and the Goldmans are the stars, it's not as good.
OJ was the star of the deposition tapes, though. So, all right, let's give a little background on what happened. Yeah. So, criminal trial ends. OJ is found not guilty. And actually, this is the Kardashians and the Simpsons hanging out in a very cokey living room.
Kissed by a rose.
Absolutely. And there's a rose in the picture. Yikes. It was a different time. It really was. We're only just now catching up.
It's before all the plastic surgeons moved to Brentwood.
Right? Chris looks like a regular person. Mm-hmm. But she's been in all these follow-up documentaries, by the way.
Of course.
She does not know the meaning of the word no.
Cameras, where are they? How many? That's cool, though. I'm going to admit I copied her hairstyle.
Yeah.
So I don't not like her, I guess.
She's fine. She didn't murder her wife. Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the criminal trial, there's a few interesting things about the civil trial. Again, compared to the criminal trial, it's super boring. But the owner of Guess Jeans paid or recommended, what was the thing? The Guess Jeans guy.
Marciano?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got the Goldmans a lawyer.
Oh, that's right. And he was like, I got this. Like, I'm going to put up the money for you. Because the Goldmans, they're regular people. They're regular people. Fred Goldman works in shoes. Nordstrom.
He sells ties.
He sells ties in Phoenix, Arizona.
So, Mr. Guess decides he's going to get a lawyer. This lawyer was not familiar with trial law.
Yeah, who is a business lawyer.
Yeah. But they basically used all the mistakes the prosecution made as a roadmap. And in a civil trial, the defendant has to testify. They have to give a deposition as part of discovery. Because if they don't, it's basically
It's automatic
forfeit.
Forfeit, yeah.
Forfeit by not participating. So there are many videos of OJ talking about his relationship with Nicole. But even in those videos, he has a lawyer with him. And
you gotta admit those videos are weird.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think that they're just part of
when
his...
they're like, look at these Polaroids of Nicole with bruises, and he's like, I didn't hit her.
But he's not weird about it. Like, he's like been to Lee Strasberg Acting Academy. Like, he can do a little bit of acting, and he knows that there's a camera in front of him. He's a Naked Gun. He can be like, no, I don't do that. I don't know. I just felt like it was normal.
Oh, so
OJ.
you think it's him acting?
Yeah,
See,
of
I
course.
always thought it was like sociopathic behavior. Like, he was so, like, after being innocent, it almost like it never happened in his head. Or I don't know. I have one theory that he blacked out during the murder.
That's what he says in If I Did It.
Yeah.
He said he blacked out. Okay, but how many times have you blacked out in your life? Granted, you've never killed anyone, but like...
I've never blacked out, and I've never really believed anybody that said they blacked
Right?
out. I've always thought, they just said they blacked out because they don't want to
Yeah.
apologize.
But you have been
they're
mad at
really
somebody.
embarrassed.
You've been mad at somebody, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you can understand that much of it.
Yeah, but I don't think I would kill them.
No. But he has CTE. He has dangerous levels of head trauma. You don't think so?
I don't really buy into that.
You don't think that football is dangerous?
I do, but why are they bringing it up now?
Because they only just now found out about it.
I think steroids is probably just as bad.
Okay, maybe that too.
That mixed with the head injury, plus they probably are like, I don't know.
The point is that OJ had to do all these things to put himself in that position to live this life that he thought he wanted, which he was still not happy, which is a lesson for everyone out there, is what truly makes you happy. Mm-hmm. Does fame make you happy? Does money make you happy? Does a young wife make you happy? No, you can still have problems. On the other hand, plenty of people who played football didn't kill their wives. So I'm not trying to be an OJ apologist. I'm just saying there's more than just some evidence, whatever. But OJ had to testify in this trial. Do we have any pictures of the deposition?
I'm trying to. It's not moving.
Okay. Well, they grilled him a lot because he was in a lot of different outfits.
Huh?
He was in a lot of different outfits in the depositions.
I'm always kind of surprised by O.J. Simpson's fashion sense.
That white polo shirt that he wears?
He dresses like my grandfather.
See, I think he looks good.
It does look good on him, but it's just very, I don't know, golfer-y, I guess. That's who he was.
He loves golf.
Yeah.
Not playing too much golf in jail. But anyway, yeah, okay. So the pictures aren't coming up. On the Facebook page, we will post some of these pictures we dug up. Like Chris's over your shoulder, though.
Part of me just knew this was going to be the image the whole show.
So OJ has to testify. There's no cameras in the civil trial. The civil trial was basically like,
Well,
they
you
kind of cheated. I don't know. Like, I'm not down with the civil trial.
What do you mean they cheated? I mean, it's not interesting if you already heard the evidence and it went on for the criminal trial went on for so long to hear it all again by like people that aren't anywhere as interesting as Marcia Clark, Chris Darden, and definitely missing the dream team. It has none of the Hollywood glamour.
In Santa Monica,
Everything about it.
the same court that acquitted Roman Polanski,
Oh, wow.
who had sex with a middle schooler. I know you're not
In a hot
like
tub.
yeah, I know each trial is supposed to be like you take the evidence, as it comes or whatever, but I think that's relevant.
Well, no, didn't Roman Polanski just take off?
Yeah, exactly. But they let him. They were really lenient on him.
Lenient.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not cool with the civil trial. So OJ has to testify. There's no cameras. There's really bad courtroom sketches.
I know. I was kind of every time they come up, I kind of giggle. I think the fact that the lawyers just aren't as interesting, and even the thing that is it A&E, the special
History Channel.
History Channel. It's put together just so formulaically too. It's not that emotionally put together.
History Channel had another special that aired before this one about the criminal trial. Actually, about the whole thing, because it went up until OJ and the sports memorabilia thing. We should do an episode about that.
Oh yeah. So much to talk about. It's never gonna end. I love it.
But well, they get like Carl Douglas is in it, and that one was really good. Like they have video of OJ's wedding. How did they get that?
Oh wow.
They have they had a lot of stuff. That one was just so much better. It's just like nobody cares about the civil trial.
You know what the civil trial could use? A dramatization to make it better and more interesting.
I feel like you're right though. It does have this air of like everyone knows how it's the story. Oh, okay, whatever. I
think it's just when the Goldmans are the main focus. It's not as good. I just think they're going through too painful of a time to make it for good media coverage. No one they didn't have it.
This special, the civil trial special, did have a lot of pictures of Ron, pictures I'd never seen before. Because again, you forget, it's hard nowadays when Instagram, Snapchat, Amazon Prime World, it's easy to forget that pictures used to be worth something.
Amazon Prime World?
It's Amazon Prime World we're living in. Delivered to your door next day. But seriously, there aren't that many pictures of Ron Goldman. And this special did have more pictures of Ron, which I liked. But
they probably came from the Goldman's collection. But there are always pictures of Ron with a tie on his head or doing something goofy.
He wasn't a good person. Neither was Nicole.
I wouldn't say that they're not good people. I would say
who isn't, everyone's flawed. I'm not, it sounds harsh. I understand that. But to canonize someone who's
OJ is not a good person. Ron Goldman was just a nerd. He just wasn't that cool. He was
OJ is a bad person.
He's a bad person.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say Ron or Nicole were not good people.
You don't think Nicole?
I think
she only got involved with OJ because he was famous.
She was recently turned 18 years old. If some handsome guy that's rich is flirting with you and you have chemistry and he's buying you things and you probably won't have to work as a waitress for much longer.
At the Daisy.
Yeah, of course. I think if anything, she's sort of the most innocent because it's the way she ended up is a lot of his doing.
Yeah, I don't know. But she had it.
She had it, yeah.
She really did.
She had it going on.
She could have been on Real Housewives of Brentwood. Definitely.
Her and Faye have been great.
Faye is on that show.
I know.
You know that? Okay.
I know, but Nicole's not.
No.
For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons? She's murdered by her husband.
That's what I mean.
Reasons. One
Mishaps.
reason. One major reason.
One major reason why she's not on that. No, I think Nicole deserves revisit.
But there's little is known about her.
Well, she was only really
She's like
written
a
about
Neanderthal.
in the tabloids, and every tabloid is just about how she was like a slut. But she
That's Keith Slumswitch in that picture.
that's the guy that owned Mezzaluna,
Yeah.
right?
Look at his hairy chest. You might not be able to see this.
I'm going to put
but-
this on our Facebook
yeah.
page, but it definitely is a juicy photo.
Keith.
But I think that Nicole was like finding herself after she left OJ, and she was hit her dirty 30s, as they say.
Who says that?
That's like a saying. You don't know that?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, they
Oh,
call
maybe I'm young. I don't
yeah. Are you 30 yet?
know. No.
I think it maybe only happens to girls in the dirty 30s. But she got like slut shamed, but after she was murdered, her legacy was just becoming like these scandalous pictures of her in the National Enquirer as if she deserved to get murdered. It's her fault for like living her life the way she wanted to.
But Ron, the civil trial was all about Ron, which is why it's so boring. The way the family celebrated after, I don't know. It's like, do you
What
really care
happened?
about this?
Wait,
They're
what
like
did the
arm-
family do?
They were like arm in arm. Like, there's an image I pulled, but we can't bring it up, of them like, they look like the Wizard of Oz, like going down the Yellowbrick Road.
Oh, yeah, I love
Of
that
them
one.
all arm in arm. Because, like, they got this settlement that OJ didn't even pay.
Yeah, so they thought they won the civil trial. But OJ has, how much has he paid?
$500,000. And that was in seized assets.
That's like
Oh.
not even their legal bills, I bet.
Well, Guess Jeans paid for the legal bills.
Yeah. But I mean,
But also after 20 years, that's what, $25,000 a year? That's
yeah,
like
I'm
no
like, that's
money.
not very much.
No.
Just fee, I'm sure Mr. Guest paid for. There's still going to be like things they have to pay for. And that defines their whole life.
Do you think that they're kind of, in their own way, using this for attention or using it as an excuse to not deal with the pain, the fact that there is no closure of it on a, on a cultural level?
I don't think they're conscious of it. I think that they're innocent kind of people who went through a tragedy they weren't prepared for on television. And I don't know, something in them just never clicked, like, oh, maybe we should be doing our grieving in private. Maybe we should just never talk to the cameras and just stay away. But instead, because everyone else is in the media and in newspapers and doing interviews with Oprah, they do it too, but they're really just not good at it. And every time they are interviewed, they just seem like they need to be talking to a professional about it. They have so much pain that they can't deal with properly. So it makes them unlikable because they're
They're kind of bringing all that to their
bringing
Oprah
all
interview.
that, yeah, in everything, even if it's just like nowadays, like, what do you think of the FX show? And you see them on TV and you're like, oh my God, you're still struggling with this. Just don't be on TV anymore. Like they need to go on like a Hawaiian vacation or something. I feel sorry for them.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
their son was murdered.
Yeah. But just this further like pain for them to go through.
But they're also, I don't know, it sounds cold, like talking trash on them. Again, my father thinks that Ron Goldman is cocky. That's his official position on the dead man. So we're not going that far. But
I think that's cool. That makes him seem cool.
that he was cocky?
Yeah, like what if your dad was like, he was such a dork? Like, at least like cocky, it's like cool.
Confidence, yeah.
Yeah, confident.
It's, okay, so I'm going to throw out another theory here.
Okay.
Maybe the reason the Goldmans aren't likable is that, okay, they are a part of the story, but they also experienced this whole trial, experienced this whole media frenzy, just like the rest of society. Like, they are lay people. If Fred has a real job or whatever. So the way that they can't contextualize this, the way that they can't, their unwillingness to get over it, to look at the big picture, I don't know, maybe that's what's off-putting about them.
Yeah, definitely. Because they don't know any better. I mean, death is a hard thing to deal with, and murder and celebrity mixed in, and
but 20 years.
20 years, and people like you and me are still talking about it. So imagine them.
I want to know if there's anything in OJ A to Z about the civil trial. I don't know when this book came out. We're going to read from it, though. This book is maybe one of the best OJ books. Okay, there's no civil trial. Let's see if there's a Fred Goldman entry.
Oh, there's got to be.
No.
I also think that Fred is good in front of, I've said this before, but Fred is good in front of the camera.
You like him in front of the camera.
I mean, of all the Goldmans, they just need to not let Kim. They just shouldn't interview anyone. Does it? Yeah, it has something in there. It has all of them in there.
It does, actually. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, this is interesting. This is something that I found kind of weird. Patty Goldman. Patricia Patty Goldman. Wife of Fred Goldman, now 47. She was Patricia Glass and a divorcee with 3 children, Michael, Lauren, and Brian, in 1987 when she married Ron's father. The newly combined family made their home in Agora Hills, a yuppie community about 25 miles outside of Los Angeles. She also testified about her stepson's clothing and said a piece of paper found in his pocket was a grocery list she had given him. Yuppie community. Agora Hills, a yuppie community. There's still this bias against them. Why do people hate the Goldmans so much?
I think they also represent, just white America. Also.
Anti-Semitic thing, maybe? There's a very tasteless joke in the OJ joke book where I don't remember the setup, but the punchline is, "Honey, I stabbed the Yid."
Wow.
Yeah. People hate the Goldmans. Terrible. All right, well, let's read a little bit more. Let's read about Frederick Goldman. Father of murder victim Ronald Goldman. He was outraged by the change of focus from the slayings of his son and Nicole late in the trial to questions of police misconduct and racism. Ron and Nicole were butchered by their client, he said of the defense lawyers. "This is not the Furman trial. It is the trial of a man who murdered my son." The advertising executives and his family lived in the middle-class Los Angeles suburb of Agora Hills. We already heard that. So even in OJ A to Z, not a lot of Goldman stuff. I don't know. So how do you feel about the kind of issue of double jeopardy? Even though it wasn't a criminal trial, can you think of any other examples of a murderer
What's the definition of double jeopardy again?
So double jeopardy is you can't be charged for the same crime twice. So in a way, even though it was a civil trial and not a criminal trial, OJ he was on trial for the wrongful death of Ron and Nicole.
Wait, who else has been charged with a wrongful death?
In a murder thing?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to think of. I can't think of any examples. I felt like that was kind of like they're kind of manipulating the system a little bit.
OJ loophole?
Yeah, it was an OJ loophole. Especially because
I'm sure somebody is going to correct us.
the
They'll know.
Well, the burden of proof in a civil trial is less than a criminal trial. Criminal trial is reasonable doubt. A civil trial is, if it's at least a little bit possible, they're liable. And he had to testify. I don't know. It just seemed it was a little too late. Well,
again, it's part of the Goldman's desire to have closure, to feel justice.
But they didn't get
But they didn't get it.
They didn't get it.
They just have bad luck. Wrong place at the wrong time. Then
An unlucky family.
Unlucky family. And I don't know where this Agora Hills home is if Fred's living in Phoenix, selling ties.
I'm going to Phoenix in September to see Black Sabbath. You better believe I'm gonna.
Please you're gonna go to the tie store?
Of course, it's a Nordstrom's. How many Nordstroms could there be in Phoenix? Scottsdale? Okay, I'll check it out.
I have a friend that also says he sees Fred every week, so we'll talk to him, make sure you're at the exact right
talk to me in
location.
September.
Yeah. The Goldman hunt down. You're just gonna walk. Please don't wear your free OJ t-shirt.
No, of course not. I'm not even gonna talk to him.
You're just gonna I think if you saw him in person, you might have a little more compassion for the Goldman
Of course,
family.
I already have done astral projection and seen being the perfume section of Nordstrom's, with seeing him and it being harsh.
And then you crying later at the
driving back.
Sabbath concert. Thinking about Fred.
Paranoid and then just
losing it.
Well, I'm sure everyone, including OJ, would prefer that these people were not murdered. OJ just has so much charisma. Do you think he's going to die in jail?
No, I think O.J. Simpson has incredible luck. I would be surprised if he got parole in 2017, honestly.
It's rare to get parole.
Is it?
Because the governor doesn't want to look soft on crime.
Oh.
I don't know what Nevada politics are like right now, but if it is his last term, he might do it. But if he's up for re-election, there's no way he'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
OJ. Is there anything else to say about the civil trial?
Well,
boring
Bruno Magli
trial.
shoes, though.
Oh, the Bruno Magli shoes.
The one thing about the civil trial is they finally got the advice. Not that evidence was ever a factor in the O.J. Simpson murder case.
They found a little bit more evidence. The footprints were a specific type of pricey shoe.
Very pricey.
They're cheap on eBay. I've been looking for...
Oh my God, are you going to wear them on your tour?
I'm looking for my Halloween costume, my OJ Halloween costume. But I haven't been able to find the ones that have that same footprint.
I might be Robert Kardashian for Halloween. Actually, Ronnie would make a good Robert Kardashian.
He kind of looks like him.
Yeah, he just needs a streak.
Yeah, that's all he needs. You could be...
I could be Fred Goldman.
Ooh, yikes, the mustache.
Scary.
Well, I definitely would like to do a group costume.
Yeah.
I know my girlfriend looks a lot like Marcia Clark.
Oh my God, she's got to do it, yeah.
She already looks like Marcia Clark, just here in April. So.
Is she going to be the curly-haired Marcia?
No, straight. Oh. It's more like a wardrobe thing.
Yeah.
Than it is she's not going to cut her hair, but...
There's wigs.
She already dresses like Marcia Clark.
So she doesn't have to try. Oh,
yes,
we got to have a group photo. It'll be really good.
Yeah, no, we'll do a good...
It's coming up soon, costume.
Yeah, it sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
In 1995, there were OJ, because it was October, was when the trial was, there were OJ Halloween masks. I want to get a hold of those. But anyways, I'm looking for the Bruno Magli shoes. Molly. Shows what I know. But I haven't been able to find ones with that foot pattern. But anyway, so the National Enquirer, the civil lawyers didn't even dig up this evidence. The National Enquirer, the newspaper known for lying, was the ones who had to dig it up.
That's because the National Enquirer isn't always lying.
But they lie sometimes. That's the same as lying all the time.
So does the Los Angeles Times, don't you think?
Not
intentionally the way the National Enquirer does.
But the National Enquirer found pictures of OJ wearing the shoes that made the footprints that he called ugly-ass shoes.
Yeah, so he's like, they said, well, would you ever wear these shoes? I wouldn't wear those ugly ass shoes. Oh, here's photos of you wearing it at this red carpet event. Here's you wearing those ugly ass shoes here.
Like, what was ugly about them? They're just ugly, in my opinion. Oh, hey, somebody commented, oh, Adam, guess what I got a hold of the other day? What? Left? She left. Well, we'll never know. That really broke down the momentum.
Yeah.
Ugly ass shoes, though.
Ugly ass shoes.
I'm looking for the ugly ass shoes. If you have size 13, OJ is size 12. I wear size 13.
Do you really think that the shoes would have changed anything in the?
No.
I don't think so either.
They're grasping for straws for publicity. Civil trial.
But what do you think of O.J. Simpson's lying capabilities?
He's a better actor than we thought. He really was.
Because whenever I see these videos of him, I just think he's not a very good liar.
Well, acting, it's about taking a part of yourself and applying it to the part, like pulling from your real life into it. And maybe he couldn't do that in Naked Gun or Towering Inferno. But when millions of dollars were on the line.
I love his acting in Naked Gun, though. It's really the right? It's very slapstick.
Not bad.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know.
I like the Zucker brothers. They're good directors.
Mm-hmm. So a Zucker Brothers episode coming up. But yeah, that was a civil trial. It was boring. It was because it was the sequel. It was Caddyshack 2. Rodney Dangerfield wasn't even in it. It had Jackie Mason playing Rodney Dangerfield. It was the Caddyshack 2 of trials.
It's the Caddyshack 2.
The gopher wasn't even in it. The gopher being Kato in this situation. But let's close out with a joke. By the way, JJ got me this OJ joke book. I end the OJ tour with this book now.
I
have them read it, to keep it fun.
Do you let the guests choose it?
If it's a private tour, I do because I'm driving, yeah. If it's a group tour, Eric's driving, I'll read it.
So Lena Dunham had to pick a joke from that?
I did. Well, no, that was a bigger tour. Anyway, here's a joke about the Naked Gun. When they were filming the Naked Gun movies, what did OJ do when he forgot his lines?
What?
He'd have to do the scene straight. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Okay, let's try another one. There's a one-liner here. It's not that Kato is lazy. It's just that he went to sleep in 1989 and forgot to leave a wake-up call. That's mean.
You're talking about his hairstyle.
What does the initials, and I guess what do, but anyway, what does the initials OJ stand for? Obviously jealous, O-jailer, objective jury, outlook jail, open jugular, at a job.
Wow.
Yep, the sick joke book. Justice denied. By the way, they tease a Mark Furman joke book in this. Does not exist. I looked it up. They never actually came out with the Mark Furman joke book. But we're still laughing. And we hope you keep laughing with us week after week.
Guilty.
Here on Juicing. Until we get Kato. That's when it'll end. But until next time, this is Adam Papagan for JJ Stratford saying, don't squeeze the juice.